Hey guys, so as I promised, I'm going to do a part 2 of my makeup collection, and I did say that my palettes were going to be like the biggest portion of my collection, so I didn't want to put the 2 videos as one video. I didn't just want to shoot one long video. I wanted to break it up because listen, that it just takes way too long to shoot a video on all of the makeup that I have. So as promised, I am doing the part 2, which is all of my palettes. You'll find that some of these palettes are face palettes, some of them are eye palettes, some of them are highlighter palettes probably. But yeah, as I said in the last video, I don't see why I would have to make a disclaimer to say that I'm not being braggadocious and blah blah blah. If you clicked on this video, then clearly you're here because you're interested to see what I have in my collection going into 2018. This is not going to be a declutter video, but you may feel that I need to do a declutter, but I have absolutely no intention of doing any declutter anytime soon. So saying that, if you are interested in seeing what I have in my palette collection, just keep on watching. So first I have the Magic by Juvia's. Just hauled this and I got it yesterday, so I haven't even done anything with this as yet. So here are all of the shades. I haven't swatched it, I haven't done anything with it as yet. I'm waiting for some of the other Juvia's Place palettes to come in, and then I'll be able to do like a haul video for all of the Juvia's Place palettes that I got over the Christmas holidays. But so there isn't really much I can say about this palette as yet because I haven't done anything with it. So but yeah, this is it. I'm really looking forward to being able to use this palette. Okay, so next I have my Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette. So there's that one. I don't really draw for it, I don't really use it as such. Then I got the Modern Renaissance palette, which is just so beautiful. The light is just washing it out, it's just ridiculous. Then a staple that I feel like a lot of people did love. I'm not too sure if they make this anymore, but this is one of the Kat Von D. This is the Metamorphosis palette. I absolutely love it, and I really adore this orange shade here. I think it's just beautiful, as well as this brown here. Like these two are the ones that I go for whenever I do decide to draw for this palette. Then I got my Dose of Colors Ice Cream palette. I used this not long ago doing a tutorial. This was supposed to be limited edition, then they came back with it again and it's available on Beauty Bay. My favourite colours are definitely Blueberry Swirl here, Lavender Honey. I do like this Mint Chip. It's just so pigmented, it's really easy to use. Then I have this Beauty Killer palette by Jeffree Star, and my mirror came broken. So that wasn't cool. But yeah, so there's that. Then I've got this sleek Midsummer's Dream Cheek and Eye palette. I think I got this in like one of those subscription boxes. I don't really use it, I'm not that hot on it to be fair. Then I got this sleek Oh So Special palette. This swatched really well in the store. I don't even feel like the camera is really giving us the true colours, but it swatched really good in store, and I just found that when I tried to transfer that onto the eyes, it just did not work, and that was just not cool. Yeah, I don't really tend to use this one that much. Got like a bunch of MUA palettes again from subscription boxes. So this one is called Undressed. This one is called Glitter Ball. And I've got another one called the Amour palette. And then I've got another one which is called Heaven and Earth. And then I've got the Master palette by Mario and Anastasia. This is really pretty, but I don't really draw for it that often. Then I've got this Technic bronzing eyeshadows palette. I intended to use this for like highlight, but it just didn't work out for highlighters. It doesn't really work out for eyeshadow either. It's just kind of like a dud to me. And then this came in like my glossy box when I used to get glossy box. This is the Essence Light Up Your Face Luminizer palette. It's just not the right shade for me. Like it just looks really ashy on me. So then I've got the MUA Luxe Enchanted palette, and as you can see here, it's kind of like ombre effect from dark to light. I believe Kevyn Aucoin has something like this in their range. if I'm not mistaken. I also got the one which is Enrapture, and again it's like this cool ombre effect eyeshadow palette. I don't draw for these because I just don't feel like they're very pigmented, but then I should have known from having the other Anyway palettes that they weren't going to be all that. But me thinking that because it says MUA Luxe on it that the formula was going to be somewhat different, somewhat better, and it just kind of fell flat on its face, so I just don't use it. Okay, next I have the Meet Matte palette. I believe I got this one from AliExpress ages ago. Just to keep in mind, like there are some like all of my fake palettes I do keep with my real palettes. If you watch my channel, you know which palettes are real and which ones are fake because I would have already done videos for them. So I'm not going to disclose every single item which is real, every single item which is fake, because my channel comprises of me reviewing genuine items to fake items, so just keep that in mind. Also, this is the Meet Matte Nude. I don't like this palette. I thought I would. I thought I'd really like the cool tone shades like this one here and this one here, but I'm not that keen. I'm really not that keen. Then we have the Meet Matrimony palette, which looks like this. And again, I just don't feel like these are the best kind of shadows. And to be fair, they don't make me want to go out and buy, like they had a Meet Matador one and all that. I just don't really want to get it. This is the Huda Beauty textured eyeshadow palette. This isn't the real one. Like for starters, it's like really huge, and I don't think the real one is as big as this. And as you can tell by the shadows, like the top row is supposed to be like all glitters, like pressed glitters kind of thing, and this is just not. This actually came out before the genuine one came out, which I found hilarious. Like these people, the forgers are on it like Sonic, but this was just terrible. It was just terrible. Then I have this, the Fairest of Them All eyeshadow palette. I got this one from eBay. I think I was just drawn to the packaging, like it's just so cute, but I didn't expect it to be as bulky and as thick as it is. So here is the shadows. I think I've only really swatched them. The one in the middle I have not swatched because it has the overspray of gold for the key, so I haven't dug into that one at all. So yeah, but I don't really use this one again, but it's so cute. Like it's just cute. It's just so cute. Then I have the Too Faced Totally Cute palette. I do want to get the fake one of this because they are doing it on DHgate, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But this palette I absolutely love. I really do like this palette. I remember when it first came out and people didn't really give it that many. I didn't see many good reviews for this palette, but I really like it because I think that the shadows are so pigmented, especially like these two mattes up here. If you foil these ones here, they're not that glittery. The four at the bottom, they're not that glittery, but if you use a fixing spray, then they do work. And they do have some highlighters here at the side. They are a little bit on the fair side for me, so I only find that this middle one here can work because it's the closest to what my skin tone will allow. But the other two, they're not that suitable for my skin tone, but they're pretty nonetheless. But yeah, I do want to get the fake one so I can do like a comparison video, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Okay, so now I've got my Urban Decay Moon Dust palette. You are going to find that some of my palettes do still have their boxes. I went through this phase of not being able to separate my palettes from their boxes, and there's still some palettes with the boxes, so Moon Dust palette is definitely one of them. But yeah, so this is the Moon Dust palette. I absolutely love this palette. When I swatched this in store, I loved the way that it swatched, but when I went to use it for real, I just found that these are probably going to be better off as eyeshadow toppers rather than using them on their own. So just keep that in mind. And also the glitter, I find that if you're not using some kind of glitter glue or fixing spray, you're gonna find that the glitter does, you know, wear off or it transfers. That's just what I found since I've been using it, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's such a beautiful palette nonetheless. Then I've got the BH Cosmetics Missy Lynn palette. I mainly got this to support Missy Lynn. I didn't find that these, like, if I was to see this palette and it wasn't attached to anybody, I wouldn't have been like, oh, let me go out and get it, because it wasn't one of those kind of palettes for me. But I really wanted to support Missy Lynn, and I have made a few good eyeshadow looks out of this. I have used the baked highlighters as well, which I found are quite nice too, but it's not one that I draw for as often as I should, but it's still a gorgeous palette and it is still usable. Then I've got the Shaaanxo BH Cosmetics. This is the original palette, so that is the eyeshadow side, and this is the lip color side. I only used the lip colors one time, which was to shoot a video to show what the lip colors look like. If I remember, I will leave that video down below, but I don't really tend to draw for this either. I do like the eyeshadows on this side, I really do. And the Remix palette, which was like the next one to it, I think it does come double-sided, but one side is this, and I can't justify buying the same thing twice when I'm not using this one as often. Although the shadows on the other side of the other palette, I do really like those kind of colors. So, well, there's only like 1 or 2 colors in that variety that I am drawn to, so I'm still kind of like on the fence about it, but yeah, it's a good palette, the Shaaanxo palette by BH Cosmetics. Then I have the Urban Decay Oz the Great and Powerful palette, and this one is the Glinda palette. I think this comes with like is it a lip pencil? It has something in it, hold on, yeah. So it has a high gloss lip color here that I've never used, and the shades on the inside, again, gorgeous shades, and you can pop these pans or pots out. And this is, what is this on the inside? I think this is like an eye pencil. Yeah, it's an eye pencil. Again, something that I haven't used. Don't really intend on using it, and it's kind of old now, so I'm not too sure if I would use it. But yeah, this is a gorgeous palette, and I just like it because, you know, nostalgia and all that good stuff. So because it's limited edition, I don't think I will be parting with that. Nope. Then we've got the Funfetti palette by Too Faced. The Funfetti palette by Too Faced. It's just a bunch of cool tone shades. This one I do believe I got from AliExpress as well. I can't remember if I did a video for this or if I ever got around to doing a video for this, but I'm just not really into it at all. But yeah. And then again from AliExpress, I got the Too Faced Power of Makeup Nikki Tutorials palette. Here's what it looks like. I only really got this because I wanted to see what it was like. I just wanted to swatch it. These are not the kind of shades that I go for at all. We've got someone joining us because he did not want to be on his own watching Peppa Pig. Anyway, so now we've got the Take Me to Brazil palette by BH Cosmetics. I really like this palette, although some of the shades are a little bit of a hit and miss. Some of them I just find that are just so beautiful, so pigmented, and then there's others that are just so chalky. But I think that for a beginner who wants to dabble in colour, this is definitely one of the good palettes to get, because you can achieve amazing looks with this palette. You may have to put a little bit of effort in, but this is still a really good palette. And I believe they have another one called Take Me Back to Brazil. I was interested in that, but I've kind of decided no, because I've been buying and collecting the Juvia's Place shadows, and I'm just finding that they're quite colourful, so why invest in another one of these when I'm spending, like, Juvia's Place is a little bit more than BH Cosmetics, so why not just dabble in those rather than go back to this. But I do still have this and I do quite like it. Then I've got the Violet Voss, the Holy Grail palette. This again was from AliExpress or DHgate. This is such a whack palette. The colours are really cute, but because the quality of the shadows are rubbish, it just kind of makes it redundant. So yeah, but they did make the packaging really good. It's almost holographic in the camera. Like when I shine it to myself, I can see the hollow, but on camera it's only a little bit. Then we've got the BH Cosmetics Carly Bible palette, something that I really love. I really like this palette. I try not to dip into it too often, simply because I'm afraid of using it all. Like there's a few shades that I'm close to hitting pan on, like this one here is like a big dent in it, so is this one. So it's mainly these two. I do use this one as well, but it's like these two are the two that I go for every time I touch this palette. I really like the highlighter bronzers in this palette as well. I don't really use this one because it's way too light for me, but this one and this one mixed, these two are just perfect for me and my skin tone. Then I've got the Galaxy Chic by BH Cosmetics. I don't really have much to say on this. It's a bunch of baked shadows which are colourful. They're cute. I don't ever feel like, oh yes, let me draw for that Galaxy Chic palette. It's like you use it a few times and then it's just kind of like, okay, the novelty is gone. It's that kind of thing to me anyway, so. But it's cute. Then I've got the Stardust by Vegas Nay and Too Faced. This was like my first Too Faced product, and look, you can see it's still in its glorious packaging. I have not decided to get rid of this box. Like, I just haven't. I just love this. This is so gorgeous. So on one side it has like a mascara, etc, etc, and this is the palette itself. I absolutely adore these shadows. They're just so beautiful. They're just so beautiful. I don't really draw for this that often, but I don't really want to draw for it that often because, again, because it's a limited edition, I don't want to go through it real quick. I just want to, this is a collector's item more than anything, but I have used it. I do like the quality of these shadows, and these got a bit more of a positive review in comparison to the Nikki Tutorials one. So I think that was one of the reasons why I decided to draw for it, as well as the fact that it's pink. It's just gorgeous. It's just so pretty. Then I have my Inglot palette. This is something that I have made myself by visiting the Inglot store and looking online. They had, like, there's periods where they have some really good discounts, so I have purchased some of these online and I've purchased some of these in store, and I absolutely love this palette. I'm just so happy with how it turned out. There's a lot of, again, this is just washing out all the colours, because like all of these pinks here are just coming up looking kind of greyish and whitish when they're not. Anyway, but I absolutely love this palette. I love the looks that I've created with this palette, especially like this red. Oh, this red is to die for. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then we have my Kiko palette again. This is one that I have made myself. Absolutely love this, especially this shade here down at the bottom. I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of like jacked up because I've been using it. Yeah, I quite like these. The sad thing is that they don't make these anymore. I think they came out with a different type of make your own palette situation. They came out with something completely different now, so I'm not really interested in looking into it neither, because I already have this, and I tend to find that the palettes that I've made myself, I don't really draw for them as often as pre-made palettes. I don't know why, but I just don't. I tend to use these kind of palettes and my Inglot palette and whatnot more as an accompaniment. So if I'm making a look and, oh yeah, that shadow from the Kiko palette, I want to use that one. It's very rare that I'll create a whole look using just this. I don't know why, it's just how I am. So that was one draw down. We still got 3 to go. Okay, so next we have the Anastasia contour kit in light to medium. As you can see, I have literally been a savage with this palette. I absolutely love it, but I think that once I had gone through all of the light colours, even though I've used some of the darker colours, I just stopped bothering and I moved on to something else. Then I have the contour cream kit, and this one is in light, and this is like the new packaging. As you can see, the first 2 shades I have completely gone ham on, and I've hit pan on this one as well, but again, I don't really draw for this that often. Then I have the Makeup Revolution Hot Spice Ultra Blush Palette. I really like this palette, it's so pretty. I just find that the shades just complement my skin tone so well. I absolutely love it. And it was so affordable. I think it was like, what, £10, something like that. It was not that much at all. Then again by Makeup Revolution, you can see that I've been using this one to no end. Like, lid is broken, all of the writing is literally scratched off. This is just looking crazy. And again, you can see that the light colors, I use those ones so quickly, and the deeper colors, they just don't get as much attention and love. But this one is the powder contour in light medium, and it's the Ultra Pro HD by Makeup Revolution. I think this one's about £10 as well. Then I've got the Anastasia Contour Cream Kit in medium. Again, just this time it's the other way around. I've hit pan on the two deeper shades and I haven't hit pan on the other shades, so but I have used those, and this is in like the older packaging. It's not as sleek and mainstream as the new packaging, but yeah, so that's that. And then I have the Brow Pro palette, again by Anastasia, and I've barely used this. I mean, it just like all the dust is around it and shiz, but I haven't even really used it. I've probably swatched the colours, like I've swatched this one here. I don't know if you can see, but it's been swatched. But I tend to prefer to use my eyebrow pencils. Then I have my Makeup Geek palette. This is something that I made myself. So this is the actual Makeup Geek palette, and these are the shades that I got these from Beauty Bay. And when I make my own palettes, I tend to make sure that I buy the palette that it comes with. So as you saw, the Inglot palette, it came with the Inglot shadows came with the Inglot palette. The Kiko shades came with the Kiko palette, and it's the same with this. I got the Makeup Geek palette to fit all of the Makeup Geek shadows. I don't really tend to go for the whole Z palette thing, and that's even before their whole situation. I just wasn't that into Z palettes because I want the shadows to match the palette that they're in. Does that make sense? And look, it's still in its box and all of that, so yeah, this is lovely. Then I've got the Manny MUA Makeup Geek palette. This was something from AliExpress or DHgate, but I did a video on this as well, and it's like you can tell that it's not real, because I think the real one, this was kind of like rose gold, and this is like straight up like purple foil. I don't know if it translates that well onto the camera, but yeah. And these are the shades here, and this one here was just so funky because this is supposed to be like a duochrome. It's supposed to be like a green with a brownie shift, or is it brown with a greeny shift? I can't remember, but this is a brown with a green overspray. So once you go over this, it's gonna just be brown. And as you can see here, I've only swatched it once, which was, I believe, for that video, and that was it. And it's been like this. It's been like this ever since. But yeah, so this is the Manny MUA Makeup Geek palette that I got from, I think it was AliExpress. Then I've got the Kylie Holiday Kai Shadow palette. And this was like the holiday one from last year. It's really pretty, I just don't use it. Then I've got the Burgundy palette, one that I really enjoy using. These are all the shades, they're just so pretty, especially like this one and this one here. Like those shadows are, well, they're not even shadows, they're like just pressed glitters or something, I don't know. I think I really do need to just unbox and debox all of these palettes, because it's just so long having to unbox them and then rebox them and stuff. And this is the purple palette. I've got this one from like DHgate or whatever. I recently did a video on this, and they really did like look. It looks like, just looking at it, it's just, they did so well with the packaging. Even the outer packaging, it's crazy. Okay, then I've got the Too Faced Love Blush palette, Blush palette. I don't use this at all. I just don't use this at all, but it is just so cute. Then I've got the Kai Shadow Bronze palette. I've just completely scratched this up and it's got so much shadow all over it, but this is just so beautiful. And look, this one broke. Then I have Too Faced 3 palettes that they did. I think it was like last year they did these. They did these ones like last year, and they're just kind of whack. Like, I'll show you one inside. I just didn't like these at all. They're just not all that, but they're cute to have as a collector's item. And then I got the Kylie's Diary. It's just so pretty with all the glitter at the side, and these are all the shadows. Again, something I just don't draw for, but I love the packaging. Okay. Then I've got the Too Faced White Chocolate Chip palette, and that's what that looks like. I was not that impressed with it, but then I wasn't expecting the world from it because they are cool tone shadows. Like, that's really not going to suit my skin tone. And then I've got the Matte Chocolate Chip, and this was more up my alley. Then I've got the Alchemist palette. Just look at that hollow. And this is the palette itself. I don't know if you can see the A, but this is these are the shades. These are all of the highlighters. I think this one's green. This one's green. This one is blue. This one's violet. That one's pink. This one, of course, is like my fave because I love pink. Then I got the Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow palette. This isn't real. This one is from DHgate or AliExpress, wherever. This is not very good, but the blush in the center is alright. Then I've got the Venus and Venus 2. Just so pretty. One of the shadows shattered here, but I absolutely love it nonetheless. And the Venus 2 itself, I wasn't as drawn to this one. Yeah, I'm not just drawn to that one. Then I've got the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit. Just so pretty, just beautiful. I absolutely love this, and you can probably tell that I used pink hearts like non-stop. Then the Aurora Glow Kit, and yeah, I believe this one was from DHgate or AliExpress if I remember correctly. Got the Anastasia Ultimate Glow Kit, and I think this one was from like AliExpress or DHgate as well, and it wasn't very good quality, and the mirror came broke. And also it's supposed, like this part here where it says Glow Kit is supposed to glow in the dark, and it doesn't. Then we've got the original Glow Kits. So we've got Gleam, we got Sweets, and my son automatically turned around as soon as I said Sweets. This white one came broke and I repressed it. And I do like the way that taffy, this one here, looks on my skin. I think it's lovely. The purple one, not so much. We've got That Glow, and we've got Sun Dipped. This is a really nice palette, I have to say. I think these two mixed together are just gorgeous on me anyway. So now we've got the Jaclyn Hill Becca Champagne Collection Face Palette. I adore this palette. The sticker, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like the sticker is starting to rise up, it's starting to curl on the edges, and that's okay because it's more about like what's inside. And here is the palette in all the shades. I really like Prosecco Pop, this one here, on my skin tone, and I absolutely love this middle shade here as I really like this middle shade here as a blush. I actually thought that I was going to prefer, oh my god, I'm trying so hard not to blind you because this is so reflective. Let's do it like this. I actually thought that this one was going to be the one that I liked on my skin, but this middle one was definitely the one, and I do prefer this Prosecco Pop as my highlight. Love this palette, and I think that if you can still get it, then get it. Like seriously, there's no palette that I feel you should get more than this. Like, I absolutely love it, absolutely. Then I've got the Kylie Royal Peach palette. I think I got this one from DHgate or something, I can't remember. And here's the palette itself. I really like that blue, it really works out, it's so nice. And this pink as well, it's all right. This gold is just gorgeous, it's absolutely gorgeous. And we all remember like there was an issue with the smell of these palettes and whatnot, but because I got this from like DHgate, it didn't have there was no issue with that. And then also I've got the Nicole Guerrero Anastasia Beverly Hills glow kit. Again, this one was from like AliExpress or whatever, so that's that. And you can definitely tell that it is from one of those places. Like, these are not the right kind of shades at all. It's just a mess. It's just such a mess. It's like no pigment, nothing. The packaging is cute, I give it that. The packaging is cute, like the writing is kind of sparkly, it's hollow, whatever, but it's not worth it. It really isn't. I don't know if I did a video on this, I can't remember if I did, but just drop yourself out when it comes to that palette if you're gonna get it on like GHK or whatever. It's just not worth it. Now we're on to draw number 3, and I've got the BH Cosmetics Bronze Paradise. Again, one of those most reflective palettes ever, but I absolutely love it. I think it's just gorgeous. And these are the shades inside. They're nothing to write home about, but it's nice as a starter palette, and I really do like the packaging. I think that's the thing that drew me to it more than anything, is the packaging, as well as the Forever Nude, again by BH Cosmetics. I love this blush. This blush, oh my gosh, when I swirl it around, when I swirl it together and I put that on my skin, it's just gorgeous. I absolutely love it. The eyeshadows and the highlight and the lip colours, not that taken aback by them at all, but I would rebuy this just for these two blushes. I absolutely love them. I don't think they make this one anymore. It's really cute, but it's the same situation. I haven't really used these blushes too tough, and I will probably use that more as some kind of bronzer than a blush. I will probably use it as a bronzer or like a contour when I'm really, really pale. And I just don't understand why they keep on putting like creams, lip colours, whatever, at the bottom of a powder palette. It just makes no sense. And the Forever Glam, again, I don't think they make this one anymore. I love this shade. This peach here is to die for. I absolutely love it, but it's just the same kind of situation. It's just hit and miss, and I just really like the packaging more than anything. I think I saw Carly Bybel with these palettes, and I was like, oh, I quite like these. I really like these. So that's why I ended up picking them up, and they were so affordable as well. And I feel like the packaging, because it's so hard, and you know, if I was to drop it, I wouldn't be as worried about whether or not anything inside broke, because I feel like this is kind of like protective almost, but still, yeah. Then I got this corrector palette from AliExpress. It says MAC on it, but it's just really not MAC. They're just a bunch of neutral skin tones, flesh tone colours, but of course they haven't taken into consideration that there are darker people than like peach colour. So they got that one dark colour, one. Then there's the Urban Decay Smoky palette, Naked Smoky. And here it is. The brush is in there as well. This is alright. It's nothing to go crazy about. I mean, yes, you can create a smoky look. You've got plenty of shadows to do that. Then the Lorac Unzipped palette. I haven't really done anything much with this. I just don't feel like it's right for my skin tone. I just find that it's really chalky. I'm not keen on it, so I don't draw for it. Then we've got the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and I believe I got this from eBay like a long time ago. I don't believe that this is a genuine one because it doesn't smell like chocolate. So is what it is. Of course, this was before I was doing makeup videos and all of that stuff. Then we've got the Lorac Pro 2. Nothing really much to say on that. The Lorac Pro 1. I thought that I was going to be more into the Pro 2 than the Pro 1. But I ended up using more shadows in this one than in the other one. So yeah. Then I've got another ice cream palette, but this one was a fake, and I have done a real versus fake with this. And on camera you may not be able to see the difference, especially as I'm not holding them both up side by side, but I can tell the difference straight away. But they nailed it nailed it with the packaging. Like, they absolutely nailed it. So I have to give them props on just that alone, but the shadows themselves suck. Then I have the iMagic flash color cases. These are supposed to be dupes of the Makeup Forever flash color cases. These were about £8 each, and I think the other ones are like £100 each, and you do the math. So I don't use these as often as I should, but regardless, they are like, these are amazing. These are amazing. I've heard some people do like videos on these, the iMagic ones, and they have the real Makeup Forever ones, and they're like, they're the exact same. They're the exact same. Like, they swatch the exact same. When they put it on the eyes, it's the exact same. Everything's the exact same, apparently. But I haven't got the genuine ones to really be able to make that remark myself. But that's what I'm hearing, and I absolutely love these. And I think that if you are a makeup artist, you should jump onto eBay and get these. They are wicked. Then I've got the Urban Decay Naked palette. This, I believe, was from eBay, so this is not genuine. And the Naked 2, same situation. And the Naked 3, same situation. Then I've got the Nude Dude by the Balm palette. This is really nice, but I just don't use it at all. Then I've got the Nude Dude palette. I've got two of these. One of them is genuine, one of them is fake. I think this one's the genuine one, so I'll just show you this one. Yep, so here is the genuine one of the Nude Dude. This is actually quite a nice palette. I just don't draw for it. I just don't see, like, it just doesn't call my name. And I ended up getting this in a subscription box. Can't remember what it was called, what the subscription box was called off the top of my head right now, but yeah, so I was able to do like a real versus fake because I ended up getting the real one. So now I've got the Clover palette, and I've recently done a video on this. This one I believe was from DHgate, if I remember correctly, and these are all of the shadows. I was not best pleased with this. It was just so chalky and unpigmented. Then I have the Sweet Peach palette. This is just so pretty and just so beautiful, and smells exactly like peaches. I really like this. I don't tend to use this one as much because I do have a dupe from the I Heart chocolate bar range, which I'll get to soon. And then the chocolate bonbons. Yeah, the chocolate bonbons. And the semi-sweet chocolate palette. Okay, and now all of my I Heart Makeup chocolate bar palettes in no particular order. So this is the Pink Fizz. This is the Pink Fizz. Then we've got the Chocolate Love palette. Then we've got the Chocolate and Peaches palette. Absolutely beautiful. This is the one that I use instead of the Sweet Peach palette because I believe that these just do the exact same thing. Then my favorite out of the whole range is the Naked Chocolate palette. I absolutely love this one. It's my favorite out of the whole range. Then the Mint Chocolate palette. This one kind of looks like the, oh, which one does it look like? The Subculture palette. I do not like the way that this smells, by the way. I can't stand it. Then we have the Salted Caramel, and this one is just like the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Semi-Sweet. And then we have the Golden Bar palette. This is like, majority of the shades in here are glitters, shimmers, whatever. Don't draw for it that much. Then we have the Chocolate Elixir, and this is like the Modern Renaissance palette, just gorgeous. And the Chocolate Rose Gold, like, I love this packaging. I think this was supposed to be like the, at first I didn't catch it, I'll be honest, at first I did not catch it, but I think that this is supposed to be like the Huda Beauty textured eyeshadow palette, her first palette. I think that's what this is supposed to be. I think somebody else said it, and as soon as I saw it I was like, hold on, you're right, but I just did not catch it at first. But yeah, this is supposed to be like the Huda Beauty. And then this is like the original I Heart Chocolate bar palette, and this is supposed to be like the original chocolate bar palette by Too Faced. So this is the one that kicked it all off. And then we've got Death by Chocolate, and here's that one. I don't know if this is supposed to be a copy of something, I don't know, but I can't tell if it is. And this is like one of the originals. I think this one probably came out just after the original, so for me to think back that far on what palette this looks like. I'm just going to draw a blank. But let me know if you know what it's supposed to look like. And then we've got the Chocolate Vice. Again, I don't know what this is supposed to be, but I really like these shades. I really do like these together, especially this shade here and this one here, and also this one here. I haven't tried the black, so I don't know if it's a good black or not, but yeah, I especially like this shade here. It's gorgeous. And then their most recent is the Chocolate Orange palette. I adore this palette. I don't feel like you need to have it. Like when I open it, I love it. I love the way that this looks when I open it, but I feel like the quality of the shadows just dropped as they continued to make more and more of these palettes. They just dropped the quality. But when I open the palette and I look at it, I absolutely love the way that the shades look. It's just a shame that it doesn't always translate when I'm using it, but I will put the video down below. There was a couple of shades which just blended out into nothing and I had to reapply, and there was a couple of shades which I applied first time, perfect, great. They just don't swatch very well, but they look so great in the pan. Like when I look at this palette, when I look at it at first, it's just beautiful. But this to me is supposed to be like the Natasha Denona Sunset palette, aside from the fact that this yellow here is a bit deeper than the yellow in the Sunset palette, so keep that in mind. Now we're on the last drawer. I'm so happy that we've got in here, and there isn't as many in this drawer. So we've got the Coloured Rain Queen of Hearts palette. This is the outer casing. This is the palette itself. I believe I got this one from DHgate or something. So these colours are not as vibrant as the original, but it's really nice if you just wanted to just have the packaging. I mean, gold on the inside is just so pretty, and also just the outer packaging is just beautiful. Like they really did go to town when it came to making this palette. Like they really tried to make it like the original. Then we have the Pastel Goth palette by Kat Von D. Where did I get this one? In Debenhams. Like when I saw it in Debenhams, I was like, yes, I've got to get it. I do like looking at this palette in the palette itself. I feel like I do have to work some of the shades in order to get them to work, but it is a beautiful palette, and because it's limited edition, I don't tend to draw for it as often as maybe I should, and I just find that I always have to draw for another palette if I am using this, because the transition shades that I would need, this does not have. So this is more of an accompaniment palette rather than a standalone palette, but it's still gorgeous. And then we've got all of the Juvia's Place palettes and stuff. I showed one at the beginning of the video, which was the newest one that I'd gotten. So this is the Saharan, oh lucky, this is the Saharan Blush Palette Volume 2. These are all of the blushes. Even though this one is a fake, I do quite like the colours of the blushes. I will be getting the genuine one, and I'll be able to make a comparison video. And then I got the Saharan Blush Palette Volume 1, and this again, I am going to get the genuine one for this palette, but I just find that this I would more so use as like these shades here I would more so use like for contour and whatnot. This yellow or orange, whatever, and this red I'll probably use on my eyes. I wouldn't use it as for anything on my face. I really wouldn't. It's just not suitable. And then we've got the Nubian. So this is like the original by Juvia's. Again, this one is from like DHgate or AliExpress, but I really like the quality of these shadows. I think that they did a good job trying to replicate color payoff with this palette. My son is being so patient. He's just waiting. He's so tired. I don't know why he doesn't just go to sleep. Like the bed is right there. He just will not go to sleep, but he's just sitting there so patient. You're a good boy, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. And then we've got the Saharan 2, but it says The Magic. Again, this is from DHgate. I've recently done a video on this, so I will link it down below as well. Then this one is the Zulu palette. Again, it says The Magic, and it's not magic. And the shadows inside definitely are not magic. It's just, I'm yet to upload a video on this, but I have created a video about this, so just watch this space. Then I got the Saharan by Juvia's. Again, this is from one of those like DHgate, AliExpress. I do really like the shades in here. I can't remember if they swatched good, I can't remember, but just the color arrangement is just beautiful. I just really like them. And yes, I will be getting the genuine one and comparing it at some point. I'm just waiting for it to come in. I've ordered it, I'm just waiting for it. Then we have the Magic by Juvia's, like the fake one. We saw the original one at the beginning of the video, and this is the fake one. There's just absolutely no comparison. I have no words. I have no words. Then the Saharan 2, the real one. I absolutely love this palette. I love the way it performs. I love the shadows. I absolutely love this palette. Love it. Then we've got the genuine Zulu palette. I wasn't as happy with this one. This is my first genuine Juvia's palette. I loved the shimmers, like they kill it with the shimmers. They really do kill it. But when it comes to the mattes with this palette, I'm just a little bit on the wah 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 kind of side. But yeah, and but I do still like these, and I'm glad that I decided to go and get the Saharan 2, because that one, like the mattes and the shimmers in that one was gorgeous, but the shimmers in this one are definitely amazing. I'm just not as taken aback by the mattes. And then last two now is the Masquerade Mini. This is not a genuine one. I'm waiting for the genuine one to come in. There was nothing special about this palette from what I remember. And then lastly is the Nubian 2, and oops, let me take that off. These shades are really, really cute. Like, I really love this purpley shade here. It's beautiful, but again, I'm waiting for the real one to come in. I've literally just done a big shop online for all of the Juvia's palettes, including the new palette that they have. I think it was called the Douce palette. Oh, that's about to come in as well, so I can't wait to review that. So that was all of my palettes. There were face palettes, eyeshadow palettes, highlighter palettes, all kinds of different palettes in this video, and that took absolutely forever, but I'm so glad that I got around to doing it. I'm not decluttering. I have no intention of decluttering, but I hope that you like this video, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.
Bye.